How do you feel about the Army's current height and weight standards? Do you think they are unfair toward women and how they get measured and taped?
I wouldn't necessarily say unfair toward women. I would say I think the height and weight standards are bullshit, to be honest, because I've seen people who work out who can't pass height and weight.
Right.
And they're in like the top shape of their life. Mm-hmm. I've seen people who are overweight clearly and either need to go on some type of program or figure out what it is that they're trying to do and get out, who end up passing. And it's like every time I see somebody get taped, it's a different way. Mm-hmm. So I really don't feel like there is a standard that's being stuck to in that sense. And I think that they need to, I really think they need to get rid of that, in all honesty.
Right. I think it should be, if you can pass a PT test,
then you could pass a PT test.
And then you're good. Like, it doesn't matter how big you
that
are.
height and weight, I just don't, it feels like a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. And especially like how they tape guys' necks and waists. They tape they tape y'all's hips. That makes zero sense.
For some reason, I didn't realize that males didn't get their hips.
No, we get our neck and we get our stomach. That's it.
How do they know?
They tape y'all
it's
hips.
Everything, yeah.
And it's like, what else they
tape?
And
you got people standing in there like trying to make their necks a different size and shit. And I'm like, what are you? What is going on right now?
Right. I just think it's just not fair.
No,
it's not fair
I agree. Yeah, I think they need to do away with the height and weight.
It's just it just doesn't make any sense to me. No. What's your opinion on the new ACFT?
I think whoever invented it is definitely a CrossFitter. I feel like it has a lot of functional fitness in it, but at the same time, functional fitness is a lot of what we do every day.
Right.
So in some sort of sense, I think it's beneficial. In another sense, it's kind of, it's a weird dynamic because a lot of people don't do functional fitness. They don't do CrossFit workouts. They do regular, weightlifting and stuff in the gym. So it's just kind of crazy.
It's a little unconventional.
It's unconventional, but at the same time, it's unconventional because we've not done it before.
Right.
We usually do just push-ups and sit-ups and run. That's what we do.
Right.
But I do think functional fitness you do it every day. You're lifting your rucksack. You're rucking with your rucksack. You're picking shit up. You're putting it back down. Like, you have to be versatile in those movements, which is why I think they're leaning more towards that way. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's something new.
Yeah.
And it's different, and there's that level of buy-in.
Yeah. So what do you say to people who, because there's chatter amongst amongst the people, amongst the soldiers, NCOs, officers, amongst the people in general.
Amongst the people.
Amongst the people, it's chatter. It's that this ACFT is geared toward, or it favors men because most of the events are strength based.
So I think before the new changes were published, I think maybe not necessarily geared towards men, but definitely geared towards people who are versed in CrossFit, who know how to do the movements.
Right.
If you go to a CrossFit class, a lot of it is gymnastics. It's not even based on how much you can pick up and put down.
Okay.
You just get strong in doing everything over time. But a lot of it is gymnastics. And I personally like the changes because they took the leg tug out and replaced it with a plank, which is something that everybody can do.
I'm gonna give you a little pushback.
Okay.
I'm at PT. Mm-hmm. People don't. So, all right. So we just had a mock ACFT not too long ago. A lot of people are doing the plank wrong.
What do you mean by like?
Like their backs aren't straight. They're slouched.
Oh, they got the dip.
They're slouched in.
Yeah.
And they're getting 2 and 3 minutes.
Okay, so let me ask you: those same people, could they do the leg tuck?
I don't know. I think me personally. I mean, I don't. It doesn't matter to me. Either way, honestly. Like, but me personally, after seeing everybody do it, a lot of them are doing it wrong with the plank. And I think one to two leg tucks is easier than
a 2.5 minute plank.
A 2.5 minute plank.
2.5 to 4 minute plank.
A 2.5 minute plank. That's just my opinion.
I do think too, though, in that sense, it takes so much longer to get graded and go through the ACFT than it does a regular APFT.
it's so many events.
It's a lot of events, so it
Yeah.
takes twice as long.
It's a lot
It
of
takes
events.
twice as long. We're doing the ACFT for what, like an hour and a half.
Yeah, but I prefer
it
the
takes a long
ACFT.
time.
Me personally.
I mean, I do like each side has its pros and cons, right? You
Right.
kind of just have to roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, the changes, I didn't like it. I don't want to do no fucking leg tucks. Like, let me do some toes to bar. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
there is never a point in time where I am like on a bar sideways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's to like, you know, when you're going across rope and like that, that's the movement to, you know, kind of make that based on something that you do on a regular basis. But I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm up in the air about it at this point. It definitely, each side has its pros and cons, but I'm glad that they made the changes that they made.
Same. Do you prefer the ACFT or APFT as presently constructed ACFT?
I think I prefer the APFT in all
Really?
honesty.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
do.
APFT is so bland. Like,
It's bland,
The
but
ACFT
it's
is
quick.
fun.
You go in, it's quick. You do your sit-ups, you do your push-ups, you do your run, and then you're done. Like the
Yeah.
ACFT, yeah, I mean,
it's just more enjoyable for me
why?
because it doesn't seem like we're doing a PT test. It just seems like we're just doing a workout.
You're doing a workout with your friends?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's true too.
People are pushing each other, and we're doing
Yeah.
the sled drag carry
Yeah.
and push-ups. Everybody's just kind of waiting in line, and then we do push-ups real quick.
I can see that side of it too. Yeah,
it's just more enjoyable.
it'd be interesting if you did a poll like across the board of people who which they enjoy.
Yeah,
the most.
and if I'm
Yeah.
being completely honest, the ACFT standards are pretty low.
Yeah, they
Which
since the changes that they made, yeah, I feel like
Right.
they are pretty low.
Right. I'm not,
which helps more people pass. But at the same
Right.
time, you know.
That's why I said I don't know how that translates into promotion points, but I don't know that as of yet. But it's definitely easier.
Yeah.
It's not as much pressure.
I think the push-ups are easier too.
The T push-ups.
Yeah, I feel like it's maybe because the standards are lower in that aspect, but
It's easier, but it's harder to max though.
over time, yeah.
Yeah, because
as the minutes go by.
what 65 or something like that.
Yeah, that's
T
a lot.
push-ups.
That's a lot.
That's
a
tough.
lot, yeah.
I think 65.
But you know
regulars,
what? On something that you had said previously, how people do the plank wrong, they do those push-ups wrong
They
too.
do them wrong.
They be having
yeah, yeah. People can't see
it's
me,
be
but yeah,
crazy.
they doing it crazy. They do it crazy. Arms don't be extended.
Yeah, they got the dip in the back too. Yeah, it's not a straight line.
Especially when
Yeah.
it gets about 35, 40, you start seeing.
You know what though? Those
yeah.
are the same problems that were on the APFT too. If we're
Yeah.
being honest,
Yeah.
Not everybody was doing the push-ups right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You see, the
just-
problem is like, or not necessarily the problem, because sometimes it can be beneficial. It's up to the grader.
It's up to the grader.
Every grader is
It's up
different.
to the grader.
It's just like a height and weight. Every taper is different.
Yep.
It's just depending on who you get.